Hello, good night. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions, and I have a great topic for you tonight. I would like to talk about applying for what's called the E2 Treaty Investor Visa if you are the citizen of an E2 country that can allow you to come to the United States, live here while you also actively run your business here. I'm going to give you a summary of what the requirements are, and then what you can do is you can always schedule a consultation to talk to me about applying for this. If you are a business owner or you're an entrepreneur who would like to come to the United States to expand or start your business in the United States. So the treaty, and also keep in mind that I'm here to answer your immigration questions. So feel free to put those questions in the comments as I am also talking about the topic. So I'm talking about the E2 Treaty Investor Visa. It is a non-immigrant visa, which means that it doesn't give you permanent residence, but it does give you the ability to live and work in the United States for years while you run your business here. It could be an alternative if you don't want to live here permanently, but you do want to, for business purposes, come here and expand your business here, run your business here. You can also, while you concentrate on expanding your business, you can also bring your spouse and your children here to the United States. Now, to qualify, you have to be the citizen of an E2 treaty investor country. There is a broad list of countries, but and you can definitely put in the comments. I will tell you if your country is an E2 country or not. But in the Caribbean, it's going to be Jamaica, Trinidad, and Grenada. There's also in Central America, it's going to be Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica. In South America, it's countries like Bolivia, Argentina, Paraguay, and Suriname. So and Canada is also an E2 treaty investor country. England is a treaty investor country. So these are examples, and there are countries all around the world. I've just given you examples on the western side of the world of countries whose citizens can apply for this type of visa to come to expand their business or to start a business in the United States, as long as they show specific criteria. Those criteria are going to be: you are the citizen of an E2 treaty investor country, you have or you are currently making a substantial investment in the business. Keep in mind, this does not have to be millions of dollars. This could be as little as $80,000. And it also depends on the type of business that you are creating. If the type of business that you are creating or that you have invested in or that you're running it takes a minimum of $80,000, and you show that you are currently making these investments, then at that point you could qualify for this E2 treaty investor visa. So it is a great tool if you want to be able to thrive in your business, to expand your business, and then also to live in the United States to achieve those goals. All right, I'm gonna stop for a minute to answer questions. Keep in mind that I'm both on YouTube and I am on TikTok. So put those questions in the comments. It can be anything that's immigration related. After approval, what is the next step? Form I-130 petition. Then it's going to go to the National Visa Center. The I-130 is the family-based petition that your U.S. or resident family member files in the United States. Once there's a decision on it, it does not mean that you get permanent residence. It means that now it's going to go on to the next stage, which is to the National Visa Center if your relative is outside of the United States. If your relative is in the United States and they have an immigrant visa number available to them and they have legal status, then filing for an adjustment of status may be an option as well. So if you're here and you meet those criteria, go ahead, schedule a consultation. Let's confirm. The conditions have to be right though. If you have an approved I-130, you have an immigrant visa number currently available to you, and you still are in legal status, you should look into this. Schedule a consultation by going to the link in my profile. There is also a scheduling coordinator who's available up until 11 p.m. My number is all over my videos, so you can go ahead, call that number, and you will get someone who can help you to schedule and confirm your appointment. All right, I'm going to keep going through these questions. Hi there. Hi, Indian gal. Nice to see you. Chantel, nice to see you. I hope you got further explanation about what the E2 treaty investor visa is. I noticed you said okay, so I think you did. Am I in New York? I am not. I'm a U.S. immigration attorney based in Florida, Boca Raton, Florida. Now, as a U.S. immigration attorney, I practice in all 50 states and the globe. As long as you have a U.S. immigration issue, I can help you no matter where you are. So if you're in NYC, you have an immigration issue, schedule that consultation still. I could still represent you. I just need to make sure you qualify first, then we can get started on your case. How long does it take to get interview date after the being documentarily qualified? So it really depends on the embassy and how far along in the future are they booked. For example, in Jamaica, it's about 3 months to a year. And I'm seeing that pattern all across the globe, that it's taking anywhere from 3 months to a year to get an interview. So hang tight, check on your case. Okay, so is it normal to wait over 6 months for an appointment date in Jamaica? Queen Bee, absolutely. I'm seeing people waiting for a year. So hang tight and make sure that there's nothing they need to go ahead and confirm. Where do you live? Somebody told me the place influence on the time. So not necessarily the place, but the service centers, their processing times, and so forth. All right. Okay, so I see you're speaking internally with each other. So go ahead, put those questions in the comments. So can I start a restaurant on an E2 visa? Absolutely, Black Winter. That is a possibility to get that. Now, what you will have to show is that you do have a feasible plan in place, that you are investing and working towards that. And so it's very flexible. It can be so many different types of businesses, but you basically have to back it up by showing a business plan, by showing that you are investing, to show the types of investments that you're making to get your business started. But absolutely, restaurants, and it's, as I said before, it is broad. It can be any type of business, but the main concern here is what is your investment, and are you able to show the substantial investment? Can we resend the same money order to the USCIS after they rejected the application for outdated form? So I haven't reviewed your money order. I don't know. I couldn't tell you specifically, but if everything is okay with your money order, it is still valid. I don't see why not, as long as they haven't rejected your application because of your money order. But keep in mind, Pappy SD, this is my information here is general. I haven't reviewed your case. I'm not your attorney. I'm not anybody's attorney here. And so I wouldn't be able to give you specific advice about whether you should send that back. But generally speaking, if it's a valid money order, it's still something that can be cashed, and that wasn't the reason for denying the application. It may very well work. So make sure you check on that. Great questions so far. I'm both on YouTube and I'm on TikTok. I come on here every night at around 9 p.m. to go ahead and give you a topic, and then I answer your questions at the same time. I gave you a summary of what you will need to qualify for an E2 Treaty Investor Visa. That is a type of investor visa that allows individuals who own a business and they want to expand in the United States, or they want to start a business. They can apply for this as long as you're the citizen of an E2 treaty investor country. Examples of E2 in treaty investor countries would be Jamaica, Trinidad, Grenada, Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico, Canada, England, Argentina, Bolivia, Paraguay. So those are some examples of countries in the North America region, as Central America, and then South America and the Caribbean. If you really would like to figure out how you can move forward with this treaty investor visa that would allow you to come here, build your business, and also bring your family along with you, go ahead, schedule a consultation. I can evaluate your case and determine how you should move forward, and I can help you through the entire process. The E2 treaty investor can take a matter of a few months to be approved. And when you're in the United States, say you're here already on a non-immigrant visa, like you may be here on a student visa, then you could possibly change status. Now, keep in mind, when you do change status, if you ever leave the United States, you will still have to go ahead and get the visa to get back in. So the status is limited, but you could always go back to your country to get the visa in a matter of few months and be able to stay in the United States. This is renewable for every 2 years. All right, so let's see. My husband's work visa expired August of 2022. We worry about a letter for deportation. So schedule a consultation, KS Carper. If it expires, I would like to figure out, it all comes down to, how does your spouse qualify to be in the United States? Does he have any other, will the employer sponsor him going forward? What type of work visa is this? Does your spouse qualify to get residence in other ways? If he does, then a deportation is not necessarily going to be an issue. While I can't guarantee he wouldn't get a letter for deportation, if you are sponsoring him, then there may not be a deportation letter coming, but it's going to depend on your relationship. Are you a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident? Spouses of U.S. citizens, even after they have overstayed, may still be able to successfully complete the permanent residence process in the United States through adjustment of status. So KS Carper, there are a number of questions I have for you. You can always schedule the consultation and we can talk about it. So KS Carper, so you are a legal permanent resident. So we definitely need to talk. If you're a legal permanent resident and he does fall out of status, then it may be an issue, but I have to determine, then determine what his situation is to determine how he should move forward. So schedule a consultation, very important. Make sure you get legal advice and representation through your process. You can go to the link in my profile to schedule an appointment. There is a scheduling coordinator who's available up until 11 p.m. Eastern time. KS Carper, can't stress enough, make sure you get representation. All right. Thanks, Lennox. Thank you for that encouragement. I appreciate it. And I'm going to keep showing up. So let's see. I'm just going through the questions. Very desirous of living in Atlanta from Trinidad. So P Rock 7, I just told you one way that you could end up in the United States if you are the owner of a business or you'd like to start a business in the United States, then the E2 Treaty Investor Visa may be an option for you. Also, there are other considerations to keep in mind. Do you have a US citizen or legal permanent resident spouse? Do you have a parent? Do you have a US citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up? Do you have a US citizen sibling? Those may also be paths, but keep in mind the processing times differ just based on what type of family relationship you're applying based on. After approval of the I-130, within how long should I apply for the next step? So definitely get legal advice. 10, 10, 10. It's going to depend on, it's going to depend on so many different factors. That's why it's important to get representation and advice through your process, because the conditions for you have to be right to apply for the next step. For example, what is applying for the next step? Are you in the United States? Are you outside of the United States? Do you currently have a current priority date? Meaning, do you have an immigrant visa number available to you? Who are you applying through? How long is your process going to take? So approval of the I-130 is just a snippet of the entire picture to understand how your process will go, whether the conditions are right to apply for the next step. I'm going to have to do a detailed evaluation of your facts. And it's very important that if I don't do it for you, that you definitely find an immigration attorney to assist you with that. Because that's where mistakes can be made, and those can turn into devastating situations for you and your process. Can I apply for my citizenship while waiting on my 10-year green card interview? That may be a possibility, but it depends on your current relationship with your US citizen spouse. So are you still living with your spouse? Have you been married for 3 years? Have you had your permanent resident for 3 years? If you meet all those conditions, then it could be a possibility to apply at the same time. Usually what happens is when you apply for US citizenship, they call you in to the interview, and if they haven't already made a decision on your 10-year green card, they're going to first evaluate your application for the 10-year green card. And if you get through that part, then they move on to the citizenship. How long to get approved for an I-601A? So that's ranging anywhere from 6 months to 2.5 years right now. Concurrently filed I-485 counter starts since day one or from approval day of VAWA. So with the I-485, you're going to look and in order for them to continue processing the I-485, you have to get that VAWA approved. So they're not going to move forward with the I-485 until your VAWA is approved. So while they do work hand in hand in that you can get your work permit while your VAWA application is being processed, you can count on it not moving forward, your I-485, until the VAWA is approved. But then the last step after your VAWA is approved, the last step is to get that interview for the I-485. So they work hand in hand. So the VAWA comes first, then the I-485 interview. So we got married 3 years, and we have been living together for 11 years and have 4 kids together. Great. So it's while 228 Togo, I can't confirm that. It sounds like you do have a great case. So you've been married for 3 years. Have you had your permanent residence for 3 years? And you also have to make sure you meet the other requirements. But if you do meet all the requirements, then you can go ahead and apply, but they will still go ahead and process you for the tenure before, and that usually takes place at the interview. So schedule a consultation though, make sure you do everything correctly. How long you take to get approved when married to a US citizen, but you're in another country. So 18 to 24 months is the average time. How long does the VAWA case take? So you could be looking at 2.5 years to even 3 years right now. Everything is backed up. So thanks so much for your questions. I came with a topic. You came with your great questions. Thanks so much. I will be back tomorrow night at around 9 p.m. Eastern time. So just hop on. Feel free to ask your questions. I'll bring a topic and then we can go from there. Now, I'm not completely finished. I'm heading on over to Instagram to continue the conversation there. So if you have the time and you really want to ask your questions or I didn't get to your question, go ahead, hop on over there. We will continue talking. I'm also on Facebook at ST Law Office. So I'll be both on Facebook, ST Law Office, and Instagram, The Immigration Attorney, same as here. So hop on over there. If you go to the profile page on TikTok, you'll see the button to go to Instagram. On YouTube, I am on The Immigration Attorney. So I see one more: projected processing times for I-485 is independent of time involved in approval, in VAWA approval. So Anthony Lazario, that is not true. The I-485 is going to be processed after the VAWA approval. So keep that one in mind. There's no way the I-485 can be processed separately from the VAWA. And I-485 is not going to be approved before a VAWA approval. Because if you don't get approved for the VAWA, you can't get status to stay in the United States. And that's what the I-485 application is saying. It is saying that you get to stay in the United States and get permanent residence. So keep that one in mind. Thanks everyone for your questions. I will be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So go ahead and prepare your questions and we will jam it out tomorrow. Have a good one.